What's poppin', yo? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're taking a look at another not news. It is not a news video. I do apologize. We are taking a look at a movie review, and this movie is following the lines of The Witcher on Netflix. This is another Witcher movie. The Netflix absolutely adores the Witcher franchise. I'm gonna be honest. Netflix absolutely loves it. And like I said in my past Witcher videos, I am going to be getting The Witcher 3 and The Witcher 4, and I will be doing a full playthrough of both on the channel. If that is something that you are excited about, definitely subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. I also have a couple of LEGO Witcher customs coming up on the next couple of days on the channel as well, if that is also something that you do care about and that you do want to sort of stay tuned for. But this is the Witcher anime movie, which is not actually about Geralt, it's about Geralt's master, which I didn't work out till the end of this movie, gonna be honest, when he called Geralt Geralt at the very end. But let's get into what Google has to say without any further delay. This is a Netflix movie which has a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb, a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is actually very rare, to be fair, and a 6 out of 10 on IGN. Vesemir, a cocky young witcher, delights in slaying monsters for coin. When a dangerous new power rises on the continent, Vesemir learns that some witching jobs are about more than just money. So this movie does swap between future and past quite a bit, so I'm going to try and do it in chronological order as easy as possible. So, we have this young boy and young girl who are basically like slaves to this master, and they end up going and they end up trying to save their master from a demon, and they go to town, buy a cake, and steal the sort of medicine, and they get caught by a witcher, and then the witcher helps the young boy fight the monster and capture the monster. He then wants to go help the witcher, but the witcher says, no, you hesitate too often. I can't have someone that hesitates because witches never hesitate. So he leaves, and then the young boy just abandons the girl anyway, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go be a witcher, fuck you. So they go, and he trains to be a witcher. Most of his mates die in the witcher trials, and he tries to keep their spirits up and keep everybody excitable, and he just dips. He just straight up leaves. And when he becomes a proper witcher, he just does shit for the coin. Some elves try and come and talk to him, and he's like, nah, mate, not enough money in it for me. Give me more money, and I'll fucking help you. And then the elves are like, nah, fuck you, bitch. All you care about is money, you sad little fuck. So then, they you know, go and follow the mystery. There's a naked lady who fights with a dragon. They defeat the dragon, and they find out that someone's been experimenting on children, which is weird. And then they continue to fight, and they kill this demon, and it plays with his head and sort of gets in his head with this old lady, which is his childhood best friend who he actually loved, and he ends up actually killing her and all of his other sort of mates because of this witch who's in his head. And he ends up killing the witch in the very end, and then saving the 4 witcher children. And one of them is Geralt, and he helps them to become witches, and that's the end of the movie. Honestly, the art style of this story is really very interesting. It is what follows very similar art style to Castlevania, maybe sort of some of the DC animated movies as well. It has a very familiar art style, a very westernized art style that people still call anime. Anime comes from Japan. Cartoons and animation come from Western. Like, I don't understand the difference. Like, there is a difference, and people don't understand the difference. Like, if it's made in America, it's a cartoon. It's not anime. I don't believe America can make anime. So I don't class this as an anime because it wasn't made by a anime company. So, you know, personally, my preference. But you can believe what you want, and you can make your own thoughts and opinions. There was a lot of action in this. Again, more than what you could do if it was live action, which I do appreciate. I always love the creativity behind the animation, because animation, you can do whatever you want. Your imagination is the limit with animation, and they really make use of how much creative freedom they have and how many monsters they can actually include in this. Whereas in the Witcher live action series, they try and cut back on the monsters to save money and make it more humanoid characters that they're fighting. And that's fair enough, and it does create for a good story, but The Witcher has a vast world of monsters and creatures that you can choose from, and I'm glad that they explored it here. It gave us a story about a character which I didn't even really care about in the main Witcher series, Vasimir. I didn't really give a shit about him, not gonna lie. He wasn't one of the witches which I was too excited about seeing or enthralled about learning about his past, but it is still a cool story nonetheless. It gave us some more knowledge on the Witcher franchise, which I'm very happy about, and you know what, I won't complain about. I'll always be up for a little bit more of the Witcher, no matter what form of content it is, game, movie, TV show, anime. I'm here for it all. And yeah, I didn't really care for this story though. I just didn't feel like the story was that good. It was him stopping a demon from attacking his group, and that was really it. It sort of showed his journey of becoming a Witcher, but it sort of showed his arrogance and how he thought he could do anything, and he could do anything for money. And then when he killed his girlfriend or the girl that he liked, he had a sort of breakdown, and we didn't really get to see anything of it. The movie ended 5 minutes after he killed the girl he liked, and that was it. There was no repercussion. There was no sort of there was no consequence to his action. He didn't do anything. He killed the girl that he liked, and that was it. He just got over it. He was just fine. He had a little bit of a moment of doubt, but then he just continued. There was no sort of drama, no sort of nothing. There was no build up to that area. It just sort of revealed that it was all a dream. It was all in his head, and the person that he actually killed was the girl that he liked. And then that was it. Just moved on. Just fucking swooshed on past. If you're going to give us something like that, make it dramatic, make it emotional. Make us care, make us interested. Because they tried throughout this entire movie to set up this connection between these two characters and the sort of, oh, I still like you, this sort of lovey-dovey will they won't they type shit that they had going on, just for him to kill her and then not give a shit. And obviously that turns the will they won't they into a definite won't they, because she's dead. But I thought they could have done a lot more with that. They could have dragged out that scene a little bit more to get more emotion and to get more, effort of the character. The opening sequence where the Witcher saved, this kid from a monster, you could have skipped that. That wasn't needed. That, 5-10 minutes of an opening sequence to set the stage of opening battle, I would have preferred not to have that and to have more emotion at the end. If you could only make this, however long this movie was, I forgot, but if you could only have this amount of time frame, and you can't make it slightly longer, cut some things out that aren't needed. Like I said, we don't need that bit. Everything did connect throughout the story, everything happened for a reason, and they did loop back to most stuff, but some of the things, they didn't linger on enough. The pacing for this, I feel could have been a lot better, and a lot more interesting, compared to what they did with other sections of the movie. I am going to be honest, I would have preferred a lot more sort of connection with the characters, a lot more scenes where they were talking to each other instead of just, oh, okay, bye, and then they just leave. It did feel very cheap and very lackluster, with some of the sort of character interactions where they didn't really care for one another. The relationship was quite nicely built up between these two characters, and I just feel like it wasn't utilized enough for the big climactic ending that he killed her. There's always something that they could have done. There was a lot of inclusions of some of the Witcher characters from the Witcher series here to show that this is still one continuous world and the connection that they have going through. But, the animation style isn't that unique. Like I said, it does remind me of a couple of other things that we've seen before, like the DC animated movies, Invincible, and the Castlevania style animation. So it's not that unique, it's not that stand-out-ish, and it doesn't really capture me. There's no bright colours or exciting sort of elements. It kind of feels very bland and just uses the same sort of colours as the other Witcher, which is a live action, but with animation you can make it more colourful, you can make it more vibrant. And I know it's a dark and gritty story, so making it more colourful and vibrant wouldn't really work, but Castlevania, is a dark series, but that has some really nice color usage with some of the characters and magic. This just feels like very bland with the very like muted colors and the very dark sort of aesthetic of it. Just give me some bright colors. If you've been a fan of the channel for a while, you'll know that I do like animes and movies with bright, exciting colors that pop and stand out. Very similar to Spider-Verse or Flow, or I'm trying to think of other things off the top of my head. Like, I can't. I blanked, I'm sorry. But there is ways to tell serious, dark stories just with a little bit more color. Just give us a little bit more color in the world. Make the world stand out, make it mystical, make it exciting, and sort of give us this nice world building. It doesn't really do that. It gives us a village, it gives us a woods, and it then sets up like the main Witcher outpost, and that's really all it does. And I do like the Witcher series, and I did say I'd watch anything about the Witcher, and I would like be excited for more Witcher content, but this isn't the best out of the Witcher content. I don't know why Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 100. I think it's good, but it does still have its flaws, and it does still have its like drawbacks. So personally, I don't think I would give it a 10 out of 10. It's not like a movie which what sort of excited me. It didn't really have me thinking about it afterwards. It didn't really capture me like Arcane or Spider-Verse did. Like, those are some movies which I watched and I was thinking about for like weeks and weeks after the movie. This, it was just like a come and go type thing. I watched it and then I forgot about it, and it sort of like left my brain. Like, this isn't a thing where I sort of was constantly on it, so I feel like a 6 out of 10 is more justifiable for this movie.